Another member of China's elite Politburo to be taken out by a corruption probe. The former party chief of the Xinjiang region in China's northwest, Xingrui, is being investigated for, quote, severe violations of unspecified laws and party discipline. Mr. Ma has not been seen at high-level meetings since late last year and is the third on the originally 24-large Politburo to fall victim to what many consider the widest purge in decades by Chinese President Xi Jinping. Well, we have CNA's Deborah Wong. She joins us live from Shenzhen. Deborah, Xingrui has not been seen in months. He was not at the two sessions which you covered. Is the timing of this announcement by Chinese media so surprising?
It's not very surprising. I would say the writing's been on the wall for some time. You know, as you mentioned, Ma has not been seen in public, in fact, since October. He's missed several key events. We're talking about a Politburo studies session in November, as well as a Central Economic Work Conference in December. And most recently, you raised earlier the two sessions as well. And, you know, with past cases, Ma's absence at such high-profile events will no doubt fuel speculation that he's being investigated for corruption. In fact, Ma was removed from his position as Xinjiang party chief in July, and state media, Xinhua, said he was going to be appointed to in another role, but there were no further updates since then. And in fact, just last week, state media also announced that Ma's former associate, Guo Yonghang, was being investigated for corruption. Now, Guo began his career right here in Shenzhen before rising through the ranks to become Guangzhou's party secretary in 2023. And his fall had, in fact, deepened speculation of Ma's own plight, which we now have confirmation of. Now, just a little bit of background on Ma's career. He's had quite a storied career. He started out in the aerospace sector. He was running China's space programs for quite some time and was widely seen as a rising politician. And shortly after, he was also a Guangdong governor before taking on the Xinjiang post. And right now, you know, with Ma's removal, Ma actually joins a series of former Xinjiang officials investigated for various misdeeds.
All right, Deborah, as you pointed out, someone very closely linked to Mr. Ma confirmed his removal last week. So a lot of these removals, we see signs of that before they're actually announced in Chinese state media. Given that you are keeping a very close eye on what happens in Chinese state media, any signs, who should we expect next to be targeted in this purge by the Chinese president?
So there are no names that's floating around at this moment. It's going to be quite speculative if we raise any specific names. But what I can tell you is that analysts are looking very closely at the defense sector. Ma's time in the aerospace sector sends a signal, you know, that those with links, in fact, to China's defense, the very complex military-industrial system, they're going to be scrutinized very carefully. It's a sensitive area right now, given that China is cracking down on corruption in the military. In fact, two other Politburo members, Zhang Youxia, He Weidong, they are China's top generals, and they fell from grace recently. So analysts expect there will be more removals down the ranks. In fact, in the most recent two sessions, Chinese President Xi Jinping, he addressed the military, saying that the military must ensure political loyalty. And so analysts also do see the crackdown as Mr. Xi's way to weed out potential rivals, consolidate power, as well as to push reform and modernization of the army. So that crackdown shows no signs of stopping beyond the military. It's widening. You know, we've seen the example of Guo Yonghang, of Ma Xingrui, especially those overseeing the logistics and procurement sectors. In fact, just a week before the two sessions, China's legislature dismissed 19 members, including 9 from the military.
Of course, thanks, Deborah. So, of course, the 24 large Politburo now down to 21. CNA's Deborah Wong, live from Shenzhen.